September 11th, 2001 was one of the darkest days in American history. A time when you weren't even born, but a day none of us who were living will ever forget. That day, 19 terrorists overtook 4 planes, and their actions resulted in the deaths of 343 firefighters, 72 law enforcement officers, 55 military personnel, and approximately 2,488 civilians. My heart filled with pride on September 11th, 2020, as I watched you honor those who perished 19 years prior when you led your team through the tunnel and onto the Little Miami football field carrying the thin blue line flag next to Jarad, who was carrying the thin red line flag. None of us had any idea how your life would instantaneously change. No one could have predicted how such a small action would impact not just our community, but people across the country and the world.
Next story, 2 local high school football players are now back on the team after a nationwide uproar following a story we brought you yesterday.
The Little Miami School District suspended the boys from their team after they ran onto the field before their game last Friday, 9/11, carrying thin red line and thin blue line flags they'd been told not to carry. As David Winter shows us, nearly 1 million people spoke up in support of the teens.
The support for the boys who stood up for their beliefs and got ejected from their team is loud and wide today in Hamilton Township in front of the school.
I'm sure the community is standing behind them overwhelmingly. So thanks to those 2 boys, patriotism is alive and well.
At Cliff's Barber Shop.
With everything's going on with the NFL and what they're doing, and then they pull this on these kids.
And at the Burgito Cafe, where they made a special burrito for the boys, partial proceeds to their favorite patriotic charity.
I'm proud of them. I don't see how someone can take it as political.
Are you trying to make some kind of a political statement here?
No, not at all. I was doing it to honor the people that lost their lives 19 years ago.
Brady Williams was holding the thin blue line flag. His father is a policeman, and he says he wanted to honor all the cops who lost their lives trying to save others on 9/11.
I was all for it.
Why?
Because my dad is a firefighter.
Jarad Bentley carried the thin red line flag. The problem is the boys had asked the school permission prior to the game, and they were denied and told if they defied the order, there would be consequences.
I realized that this was more than just a football team. These guys are now my brothers.
David Winter, Local 12 News.
That cost is now huge for the boys. We just received word from Brady's mom, who says the boys were called into the athletic director's office late this afternoon. They have been suspended from the team indefinitely.
Listen, I don't care what my consequences are. As long as my message gets across, I'll be happy.
Brady told us this yesterday right before he was suspended from the team. Then today, a turnaround, the board releasing a statement saying its investigation showed the boys did not have political motivations and they would be returned to active status.
The story of these 2 boys not only struck a nerve right here in this town, but also across the entire country.
It's a little emotionally drained, but he'll come through this stronger in the end. This is definitely a character building time in his life, and it's definitely not something that he will ever forget, and I think it'll make him stronger in the end.
And many in this town hope the community will as well.
Kelly Williams is the mother of Brady Williams, the boy seen carrying the thin blue line flag. His father is a deputy sheriff.
He asked his teammates, what do I do? And I can't say the whole team, but the majority of the team began chanting and, cheering, carry the flags, carry the flags, carry the flags.
After that, the teams carrying the thin blue and red line flags were suspended from the football team. But the school officials changed their mind in a statement released Tuesday, saying the results show that there were no political motivations behind this display of support for the first responders on 9/11, but there were stances of insubordination.
I'm obviously very proud of my son. We live in a day and age where at 17 years old, a lot of kids don't stand up for what they believe in.
The thing it was about was to honor those police officers and firefighters that lost their lives on 9/11.
Brady's father, Scott, says this was never meant to be political, and he says the boys were never told no.
And that's just not the case. The athletic director who called my son in the day of the game said, I can't tell you yes and I can't tell you no. We can't take a position either way on you carrying a flag. So he carried the flag.
I mean, these boys were doing something to support their fathers as well as our country.
Today, school board members overturned the decision, saying they found motivations behind this display were not political. Afterwards, community members continued to show support for the students by waving American flags as the high school let out.
It was clearly a support for the fallen heroes, and we wanted to let the administration know that it was no political meeting, and it just was basically to support our heroes.
The day of 9/11, I don't think there's a reason why they think it should be political. I mean, it's respect.
And in Little Miami's statement that was released today, the board president said this matter is now in the hands of the athletic department. In the meantime, Josh Johns, who you just saw there, is planning a rally for the next home game, which is a week from Friday. He tells me he's already heard from FDNY firefighters, the New York Police Department, and also people as far away as UK and Ireland who want to support these boys.
About two of its football players and what they did 2 weeks ago.
Since we first told the story, the flag issue has become a cultural flashpoint, with the boys getting support all the way up to the White House. They didn't get in trouble for the flags they were carrying. They got in trouble for defying school leaders.
But to the hundreds who showed up to support them tonight, the boys were punished for patriotism. Here is Tessa DeTiro.
The parade started a couple of miles back at Mar Park, but the route specifically passed the Little Miami football game in action so that Brady and Jarad could see their support.
The red strip on this one means firefighters, and this blue strip on this one means police officers.
Thousands of people united today over a cause they believe in. Butler County Sheriff Richard Jones rode in the parade. He says many other law enforcement officers did too.
This is America, and they're tired. And these kids stood up, and we're standing up for them. That's why I'm here.
Parade organizer Josh Johns says he wanted to encourage Jarad and Brady. The two were suspended after carrying the thin blue line and thin red line flags onto the field before a game on September 11th. They were specifically told not to do that by the school. They were punished for not following orders.
It's people like all of us and them and these people over here that is the reason why the boys are reinstated. Unfortunately, Brady suffered a shoulder injury, so he's pretty much done for the season anyway.
While the parade passed, Little Miami beefed up its security. The district says it's still receiving threats and hateful messages.
And the best we could do is show them that we respected what they did. And there was nothing wrong with what they did.
I spoke with a rescue medic from FDNY today. He says what happened here at Little Miami High School is the talk of New York City today, at least among firefighters and police. And tonight, he has a message for the students, while another police organization is offering the two boys scholarships. Future firefighters stood outside Little Miami High School today waving flags as cars honked and passersby cheered. Down the road, Doug Jenkins stuck flags in the ground.
I know respect, and I know where respect lays, and it lays with that flag and these two flags and everybody else who runs toward danger. And
it touches a nerve, it really does.
Joseph Hudak, a rescue medic with FDNY, lost a former partner in the 9/11 attack. He spoke with us today while he stood in front of the Freedom Tower.
You know, all the talk in New York City right now, the cops and firemen are like, that's crazy. They're honoring us, and they're getting reprimanded for that.
The punishment also hit a nerve with a Boone County deputy who runs Holiday for Heroes, a foundation that supports police, fire, and military families.
They thought they were doing the right thing, and they absolutely were. And we want to support them financially going through college, just so they can remember that the decision they made that night was the right decision.
In New York, Hudak echoed those words.
You guys did the right thing. Let me tell you, you stood up for the American way, being a patriot, and you honored these guys who died that fateful day. These cops, firemen, medics, EMTs, all the people, you honored them. And from the bottom of my heart, I thank you.
All right, troubling story out of Ohio tonight. Look at this. You have two high school football players actually suspended. Their crime, their terrible deed, carrying flags honoring our brave first responders onto the field prior to the game on the 19th anniversary of September the 11th. Brady Williams is with us. He is the son of a police officer. He carried a thin blue line flag. Jarad Bentley, the son of a firefighter, carried a thin red line flag. Both players were suspended from athletics as the school denied them permission to carry the flags honoring those heroes who lost their lives on 9/11. The Little Miami school board finally overturned the suspension yesterday. We reached out to the school for comment on their stupidity, but they didn't hear anything back. Here now, players at the center of the story. Brady Williams, he's in gray, and Jarad Bentley is in green, I think, if I can see properly. I'm blind and deaf as I get older. First of all, thank your fathers for what they do. 19 years ago, when all common sense said to go down and get out, those guys went up. They knew they were going to lose. A lot of them knew chances were high they'd lose their lives. Brady, let's start with you. Talk about why would they, what's the reasoning behind this?
I mean, I wanted to honor the people who ran towards danger instead of running from it 19 years ago, because I believe that nowadays we don't really honor them the same way as we did 19 years ago or anything like that, because I feel like we start to forget about what happened. So that's why I wanted to do it.
Yeah, and Jarad, your answer.
Basically the same as Brady's. I wanted to honor the people that gave their lives 19 years ago trying to save those people.
Yeah. So I got a 21 student. My son's going to be 22 of all days on election day. And I have a 19-year-old daughter. If you were my son or daughter, I'd be proud of you. How are your parents reacting, Brady?
They were really supportive. They told me they would support my decision whether I did it or not. And I'm really happy I have them. They stood behind me when not many kids did at first. So I'm just really glad that they were there for me.
Jarad?
Yeah, my parents were super supportive and super proud of our decision, even though we thought that not very many people would support it just because of what's been going on lately.
Brady, you know, let me ask you, you just referred to some students wouldn't support you. So you're saying that you took heat from fellow students over this?
Absolutely. Well, I really haven't had anything sent to me, but I know that I brought the team together before I made this decision because I wanted to see what everyone's opinion on it was, and if I even heard one person say no, I wouldn't have done it. But I brought everybody together. I stood up. I told them what I wanted to do, why I did it, what happened, and all that. And everybody decided. Everyone was 100% behind me. They were all backing me up, and that's really what led my decision to what I did.
Jarad?
Yeah, I haven't gotten anything directly, and Brady had called the team into the locker room, turned the music down, got us all together, and laid out his plan, and we were all for it.
All right, now, most important question, did you win the game?
No, sadly we didn't.
We did not.
Oh, boy. Well, they reversed the decision. Please tell both your parents that America, most of America, appreciates the risk they put out every day in their jobs, risking their lives to protect and serve their communities, just like the hero cops, firemen, first responders did in New York City on 9/11/01. You guys may not have even been born then, or you're somewhere close around then. You know, very tough times. You both should be very proud of your parents, and I'm glad you are. Thank you for being with us.
High school football players briefly suspended from their team after carrying first responder flags out on the field before Patriot Night, which was on September 11th, the game on that night. The flags were honoring their dads. One's a firefighter, the other is a sheriff's deputy. The teens have since been reinstated on the team, and joining us now are those two students, Brady Williams and Jarad Bentley. Hey, guys, thanks for being with us.
Hey, thanks for having us.
You're welcome. Okay, Brady, what happened?
Me and Jarad, we wanted to carry out flags to honor the first responders who went towards danger instead of running from it 19 years ago, and we were told no. And we kind of took that to heart, and we still wanted to honor them, and so we did.
So, Jarad, what was that conversation like? Were you all thinking, okay, we're told no by the school board, there are going to be consequences, we're going to do it anyway?
Yeah, basically.
What did your dad say?
My dad liked the idea.
And he's the firefighter. And Brady, your dad's a deputy, right?
Correct.
So what did they say after you were suspended from the team?
There was a big blow up, which obviously you guys have seen. They just said that they were happy for us. They stood behind us. They appreciate what we did, and we have a lot of supporters. So.
Yeah, you have a lot of supporters. I'm sure the majority of our viewers. Jarad, what made you want to do this? Why were you so proud to run out there on the field?
Because if it was my dad that had died trying to save those people, I would have wanted someone to honor him in that way as well.
If your dad had died on 9/11, well, that's pretty powerful. Brady, what was the reason? Why would the school board say, yeah, I understand if it's something political, but this is the American flag?
So we weren't told no to an American flag because we carry that out every game. We were just told no to the thin blue line and thin red line flag.
Because they say that's political?
I can't speak for them. I can only speak for myself, so I don't know why they said no.
Okay, so this was the quote from the Board of Education. They did not obtain permission from district officials to do this. School administrators must act when students break the rules, and these students were suspended from practice while the incident was investigated. The results show that there were no political motivations behind the display of support for first responders on 9/11, but there were stances of insubordination. So, Jarad, what do you say to the critics of you guys who say, look, these are the rules, you got to stick to the rules?
Yeah, we broke the rules, but we did it to honor those who died 19 years ago. So in our eyes, we think we did the right thing.
Was it worth it, Brady?
100%. If I would have the chance to do it again, I would.
Brady, what does your dad mean to you?
He means everything. I look up to him. I love what he does. I've said since I was a kid that I want to be a police officer, and now I even want to be one more.
Telling you, as a parent, I'm sure he's smiling right now. That's a sweet message. Jarad, what's your message to your dad?
That I'm proud of what he does and that I want to be just like him.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. Well, guys, my name is Mike Randall. I'm the Vice President for the Fallen Officers. And when Rosemary Zora, our founder, and I heard about your story, we can't be more proud of both you guys. Joining us today is Brady Williams and Jarad Bentley from Little Miami High School in Moreau, Ohio. I'm originally from Akron, Ohio, so, you know, us Ohioans have to stick together.
Yeah.
Brady and Jarad, you know, thank you so much for joining us. And is it Mr. Williams? Is that you, Mr. Williams? And Mr. Williams, you're a current police officer, correct?
Yeah, I'm a deputy sheriff here in Ohio.
Well, thank you for your service. I really do appreciate your service.
And then Jared's father, Brian's
firefighter, absolutely.
Firefighter.
You guys are great heroes, and we can't thank you enough for your service. And you know, Brady and Jarad, if you can, just tell us a little bit once again what happened. Tell our viewers everything that what transpired and why you did what you did.
So Jarad and I wanted to carry out a thin blue line flag and a thin red line flag on 9/11 on our last football game to honor the people 19 years ago who lost their lives going into danger instead of running from it, and we were told no. And so we kind of asked the team about what we wanted to do, stick with the plan or change it or something like that, and everybody says stick with the plan, so we followed through with it.
Well, I can't thank you guys enough, you know, and, you know, a leader is one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. Both you guys are true leaders, and thank you so much. And I'm telling you, there's people out there that read this story that might have thought what you both did is great and want to do something. You just inspired millions and millions of people to do certain things that you did, to be heroes just like you and be leaders. So we wanted to thank you guys so much because, you know, 9/11 was such a horrific day for all of us. And our first responders go out there every single day, law enforcement, firefighters, healthcare workers, and they put their life on the line for us. And they are the true heroes. And God bless them. God bless you guys for what you both did. And we just hope this keeps going and going and going. And, you know, our foundation, although it's a very small foundation, we wanted to do something special for you both. And we know that most kids, like, you know, in high school and, you know, guys, they like Dick's Sporting Goods. And I hear you guys like Chipotle. So we sent you guys each a gift certificate for Dick's Sporting Goods and Chipotle. And we hope those companies, if they're hearing us, will give you Chipotle for life and hopefully put you guys in a commercial in Dick's Sporting Goods for your heroism and being a leader.
Thank you.
Brady, if for any reason you decide to go into law enforcement, I want you to contact our foundation, okay? And let us know. But guys, I hear that you got some exciting stuff coming up. Who are you guys going to be meeting soon?
We're actually, on Monday, we're going to be meeting Donald Trump.
You know what? That is awesome, guys. You deserve it. You guys are true leaders. And, you know, President Trump is a law and order president. And God bless you guys. You guys enjoy everything that's coming your way. You deserve it. And like I said, you've inspired millions and millions of other people who might have stayed quiet and not done something. You've made them move to do something. So I want to thank you all for joining us. Thank you so much for what you did. Thank your fathers for us. They're great parents and they're great heroes. And if you guys ever need anything from our foundation, you let us know, okay?
Will do. Thank you.
All right. God bless you guys, okay?
All right. You have a good day.
Bye-bye.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
As president, I will always stand, and I will always stand with the men and women of law enforcement. Right? They're great people. They're very brave people. Not easy, and they don't get support. We have to give them back their dignity. We have to let them do their job. That's very simple. They're great. We're joined tonight by two high school football players. They became very famous. They became very, very famous. They became more famous than President Trump. They were beautiful. I watched them running through the crowds with those flags. And here someplace, I don't know, got a lot of people here. We're going to try and figure it out. Hold up your flag. Jarad, Bentley, and Brady Williams, who were recently suspended from their high school football team after displaying flags in support of our police and first responders on the anniversary of September 11th attacks. Where are they? Come up here, fellas. Come up. Come up here. Come up here. Secret Service is thrilled about this. See, these young kids can hop over the fence like it's nothing. Come up here. They're good-looking kids. So I want to congratulate you. You've become famous. They're going to go to Hollywood. They're going to become movie actors right now. Great. You feel good about it? Huh? How's your team doing? How's your team? How's it doing? Huh? He said it could be better. You know what? You're doing great. And everybody out here loves you, and they appreciate you. They appreciate you. You're great guys. Good luck, man. Good luck. Good luck. Is your arm okay? Good. He's all right? Good. Good guys. Good guys. So Jarad and Brady, thank you for supporting the heroes and our law enforcement. We all love you. I'm telling you, you really set something up that's incredible. And thank your parents for letting you do it. I watched. You had to get, you ask your parents' approval. Isn't that nice? And you know what the father said? You better do it. Right? That's great. Thank you very much, fellas. Great job. Really great job. Country has a lot of respect.
Go to you, because you know that takes a lot of guts to do what you guys did, especially when they told you you shouldn't. And you know what? It means a lot that you felt that much pride in what your dad does to do that, and it means a lot to all the police officers. And I'm talking about retired, active. It really does that. You know that some young people, you know, instead of going out there protesting and looting and burning down, you know, businesses, that you're out there showing what you're prideful for, and it means a lot to us. It really does.
Folks in Warren County and beyond coming out in droves during Little Miami's homecoming game.
We decided we'd ride with Jarad and Brody in support of what these boys did for their country, for their parents.
The school later reinstated the boys, ruling the incident was not politically motivated. And now this parade tonight with countless flags flying high, showing support to Brady and Jarad. We caught up with participants hours before things got underway.
And I just could not believe that they would persecute these two young men.
Hundreds lining up at Sparky's American Motorcycles in Monroe before riding over to Mar Park in Mainville, meeting hundreds more, waiting for the rally to begin.
In less than 30 seconds, and with no words spoken, you unknowingly started a movement that restored pride in Americans that I haven't seen since September 12th, 2001. American flags began going back up. People found their voices and started telling our police and first responders how much they were appreciated. At 17 years old, I know you can't wrap your head around the magnitude of this situation, but as you mature into adulthood, I hope one day you will look back and realize what an absolutely amazing thing you started. You've received letters from all across the country, from California to New York, from Michigan to Florida, letters from military veterans, law enforcement officers, first responders, teachers, doctors, small business owners, and everyday citizens who were so proud of you, who were so impressed that you stood for what you truly believed in. People who were in New York when the Twin Towers fell, first responders who lost their coworkers on that fateful day, sent letters thanking you for remembering them, thanking you for reminding the nation of what we lost that day. Strangers in Australia, England, Spain, they've all shared your story in your videos. Your interviews are plastered all over the internet. We Stand with Brady and Jarad was a trending hashtag on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Local businesses began making the We Stand with Brady and Jarad t-shirts, long sleeve shirts, hoodies, yard signs. A parade in your honor drew a crowd of over 2,500 people and lasted 54 minutes as it drove past the Little Miami High School, where you and your team played under the Friday night lights. You even got to meet President Trump and joined him on stage. If these things aren't indicative of just how huge this was, I don't know what is. But as your mom, I can tell you, no one is or ever will be as proud of you as I am. I will forever be your biggest fan and fiercest advocate. I know that God has great things planned for you. I also know that you're meant to do some pretty phenomenal things in life. You will continue to truly make this world a better place. I pray that you never lose your sense of spirit and that you don't let the negativity of the world change who you are. I love you, my sweet boy, and you will always be my favorite number 19.